This presentation is about using Microsoft Word for both line edits and for proofreading. Now, these are indeed two different things. Line editing is really about word choice, style, mood, making sure that you have a variety of word choice, making sure you don't have any cliches, there's not a lot of repetition, all the wordiness is sort of squeezed out. That's really what line editing is. Right? Proofreading is closer to copy editing, which is about correctness. Right? This is all the stuff about like your comma splices, making sure your periods are where they're supposed to be, and that you've used the right there, there, and there, etc. Right? And again, Microsoft Word can help you revise for these as well. All right, so what we're going to look at is we're looking at using Microsoft Word to revise both for line edits and for proofreading. And so I'm going to look at specifically in this case, using your track changes, using your find function, how to set up your spell check so it's on steroids, a process called greening, which I don't know why it's called greening, but it is. And what it does is requires you to read backwards. And I'm going to actually combine that with your text-to-speech on your Microsoft Word. So let's take a look at what that looks like. All right, so here is my text. All right, so I got a very beginning here. Now the first thing I'm going to do is click on the Review tab. All right, and on the Review tab, I'm going to click on Track Changes, and I'm going to make sure it's on All Markup. Okay, that way I can see what changes I make. So for example, I'm going to change the title, so Bethel Bible, a peaceful place, make sure I capitalize all the pieces parts. All right, and then here what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at it for some basic things like getting rid of extra words, like Bethel Bible has always been a beautiful old church. All right, so instead of has always been maybe just Bethel Bible is a beautiful old church to come and worship, is about at which to come and worship. And really to come, do I really need come? No. At which to worship. And a peaceful place, just sit and think alone when needed. All right, so you notice that what it does is it shows you as the writer what was taken out and then what's new stuff. All right, what's great about this is that for the track changes, you do that, and then you can choose to accept or reject your changes. So we can accept all changes, we can accept all changes, stop tracking, we can accept and move to next. So let's start with this one. I'm going to accept and move to next. Accept, 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 accept. But this one I'm going to reject. I mean, not for any good reason, but I'm going to reject it anyway. And therefore I'm going to reject that change, and I'm going to accept that change, and now there aren't any comments, right? And so you have the opportunity to go back through and be like, oh, maybe I liked it the way it was before, right? And so you can make those changes. All right, so that's how to use your accept and reject changes and your track changes. All right, now I'm going to turn to how to use your find function. And the find function is super handy. So if you know, for example, that you are overusing a word, you can you can look up specifically just that word and go through and make changes. So that lives under the home, and it goes over here in the find. And you can also do it with Control F. All right, now in this case, this paper was supposed to be written in third person, but there are places where it's written in second person. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the word you. And what it's going to do is it's going to highlight every single place where the word you is. And then that way I can easily change it. So if I want to write this in third person, as you travel down the bumpy dirt road to get to the church, you will notice the various green leafy trees, blah, blah, blah. All right, so to revise that, I might do something like traveling down the bumpy dirt road to get to the church, comma, the various green leafy trees line both sides of the road. All right, in that case, I've taken out the second person, but I've kept the details. All right, and then I click over here for the U and click it again. All right, so here's another one. All right, on the left side of the creek is bubbling and flowing. Once you round the last curve, All right, so again, I might take that out and rounding the last curve, comma, let's see here. You'll take a left into the church's parking lot. The parking lot is located in a medium-sized hill. Okay, so I can probably collapse these ideas. Rounding the last curve. The church's parking lot sits on the left on a sits on left on a sits on the left on a medium-sized hill, part of which is covered with aged white chat just in front of the sidewalk lining the west side of the church. Okay, so that's how you use the find button. All right, super handy. All right, it helps you make all the changes you want to make. All right, now the spell check on steroids. This actually takes a little bit of extra work. All right, so the first thing you do is you go to the file. All right, and then you scroll down to options, which, where's my options? It's currently hiding. There it is. So go to my options. All right, and then you go to proofing. And then here under proofing, all right, so it's got some choices here. So check spelling as you type, mark grammar errors as you type, frequently confused words. I like to choose the readability statistics so I can see whether or not I'm writing like Hemingway, and let's be clear, Hemingway writes like a 5th grader. And then I do the grammar and refinements. On some settings, some versions of Word, it's grammar and style, but it's the same basic idea. And then I click on settings. All right, and then here I like to check everything. All right, so embarrassing words, I'm going to check that. Multiple modals, I'm not 100% sure what that is, but I'm going to check it anyway. Which who confusion. Clarity and conciseness. Ooh, this is new. I'm going to add all of these. This is going to be fun. Formal language. Sure. Inclusive language. This is new. Let's see. I'm going to include the Oxford comma, the comma with adverbials. I'm not going to worry about this. Let's see. And again, I want everything to be in third person, so avoid first person references. Cliches, collective nouns. There we go. So I'm going to click on everything and then go to OK. And now I'm going to click on recheck document. All right, and so you have to say yes. All right, and then go to OK. And then you go back up to your review tab and click on check document. All right, and now it gives me a whole bunch of things. So 25 results. All right, so sits on so I've got an extra space, but I don't want an extra period here, so take that out. Resume checking results. Clarity and conciseness. Go through either door, but generally people. So I'll accept the people. All right, instead of located, sure, found. All right, clarity, conciseness. So that contain that. No, I don't like that one. I think that contain is better. Earlier. Yeah, earlier works. All right, that are faded. All right, so here you go. This is an opportunity. Now you notice over here it doesn't have any suggestions, so I can fix that. So faded black and white pictures of when it was first built, and the loyal members who have attended since that time stand out against the black felt. Okay, so then resume checking all results. All right, and it goes on from there. All right, so you can beef up your spell checker just by changing a little bit of the settings. All right, I'm going to stop here with that. And now we're going to move on to greening. All right, so greening is the process of reading your paper backwards, sentence by sentence. And what it does is it forces your brain to see each sentence on its own without the help of what comes before or after it. So it decontextualizes each sentence, and it helps you find fragments. It helps you find words that are completely missing, because you have to make sure, does that sentence make sense as a sentence by itself? All right, and so generally you would do that after you've done your line edits, after you've run for spelling, grammar, and check. This is just like one last check for it. Okay, because proofreading is not a thing that you do just the one time, and line edits are not a thing you do just the one time. All right, it's a constant set of tweaking. All right, so you go through, you make a whole lot of changes, you accept your changes, you look at it, you go through, make a bunch more changes, accept changes, look at it, all right, etc., etc. So here, all right, what we're going to do is we are going to use the read aloud. Now, my version of this has read aloud just like right here at the top of the beginning in the review tab. You can sometimes have to go look for it, and if you do that, then you have to go to File, and once again down to Options, and then from Options, Quick Access Toolbar, Popular Commands, and you want all commands, and then you scroll down to Speak, and then you add it, and then it's okay, and then it comes up at the top. But for this purpose, I'm going to have it be for the read aloud here. All right, so read aloud. Okay, so what happens is if you have your headphones on, it reads it to you. It's fantastic. And I really like the ability to read your work out loud, because it's the same as if you have a friend read it to you, but a friend is still going to read it to you the way it should be read. A computer is dumb. A computer is literally only going to read to you what is there, and so it'll help you make the changes. All right, so a warming and melting feeling overcomes you as you reflect on yourself and others during this time of worship and reflection. Okay, so first of all, a warming and overwhelming overcomes parishioners as they reflect on themselves, as they reflect during this time of worship, because I don't need and reflection again. All right, and then you highlight the next sentence. All right, read aloud, or in theory it would do that. Read aloud. All right, it's unclear what it is referring to here. Like, I don't know what it, because it's completely decontextualized, I don't know what it is. All right, so I might read ahead. You can feel the spirit is heavier in the building as more people arrive in this worship. It is like warm butter and syrup. Okay, so this it is referring to the spirit. So can combine the ideas. The spirit is heavier in the building as more people arrive to worship, comma, like warm butter, and it's like warm butter and syrup on pancakes. All right, that would resolve that. And so that's greening, and that's using your text-to-speech technology. These are just a few of examples of ways to edit and line edit and proofread your work. In combination, this should help make your writing as strong as possible. All right, assuming of course that all your ideas and organization is already in place. If you have any questions, you can visit us here at the Online Writing Lab, or you can visit us at HASDAR, room 110 at the Missouri State University West Plains campus. And